there I was. Alright, I'll work out the audio. Alright, there we go. Man. Hold on, let me check the audio real quick. All right, all right, all right. That should be a little bit better. That should be a little bit better. Look better. Okay, so welcome to the Comedy Report. I am your newscaster, Dirty Folks. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. It's gonna be a real quick show, man. The homie Loke sent me a clip, and I'm gonna share it with you guys now. Then I'm gonna come back and break it down. And share a couple other things with you guys. But let's check out this clip first about what's going on in Portland. Portland is having what we can call the George Floyd effect. Shout out to George Floyd for being a black, right? Because not only was he a felon, but he was a drug addict felon. So there ain't no spot for drug addicts on black, because everybody does drugs. But hey, shout out to George. Anyway, let's check this out real quick.
Good morning from the beautiful city of Portland, Oregon.
These are images and video from an army of citizen journalists in Portland who have been documenting a city in decline.
I want this lady right here. This lady right here. Doesn't she look like every photo you see of some refugee from like Kazakhstan or Chernobyl, or somewhere on the Eastern Bloc? She has the Eastern Bloc look, and it's right here in America. Right here in America, man. So shout out to the land of the thief, home of the slave, right?
In Portland who have been documenting a city in decline. Public drug abuse, addicts sprawled on the sidewalks or wandering the streets. Tent encampments on many street corners and fires seen burning along the roadways. What used to be one of America's most beautiful and livable cities is being slowly destroyed by epidemic levels of crime, drug abuse, homelessness, and mental illness. One local is called Portland an open-air insane asylum. We went to one of Portland's
an open-air insane asylum. That is deep right there. I'm not going to show this whole thing. It's 6 minutes long, but I do want you guys to see the tent cities. I'm only going to play it until they start telling you exactly when this decline in Portland started happening. So let's check this out, man. Let's find out about tent cities.
Many tent encampments with drug and alcohol counselor Kevin Dahlgren, who's trying to help the city's addicts. Many of the tents you see here are supplied by Multnomah County. Dahlgren believes at least some officials are okay with what's happened to the city.
How could they not be okay with it for as long as this has gone on, right? Every day we walk past these camps, we see people languishing and dying on the streets. That is not okay. Every year we say this is a state of emergency, right? But who here is treating it like a true state of emergency?
Dahlgren says activists actually put up empty tents to attract more tents.
That is a common practice to...
Hold on, man. Let me bring that back. I want y'all to understand how they setting up the game. Activists, these leftists, these critical race theories, these we don't see color unless it's the color of the rainbow, right? They're literally putting up tents to encourage homeless people to invade and raid tents. So they're empty tents, but you don't know they're empty unless you're trying to steal stuff out of tents and be like, oh, this one vacant. So really, they are not only encouraging homelessness, they're also encouraging squatter theft. But you know, vote Democrat, right? Bring that back just a little bit.
To attract more tents.
That is a common practice, to erect tents to invite homeless to be homeless, right? And that makes our job now 10 times harder. They will just erect the tents in hopes that a person will find the tent and move inside.
During our time with Dahlgren, he met one homeless man who said he was given a bus ticket to Portland by the city of Billings, Montana. Portland has become a mecca for addicts and drug dealers who have migrated here.
Hold on. That's hilarious, man. The man was from Billings, Montana. Montana was like, we don't want your kind here. You got to get out. And they paid for a Greyhound ticket for him to go to Portland, Oregon. He said, be with the rest of the homeless dope fiends. And the first thing I thought about when I heard that was Trump saying they're sending their worst of the worst. They're criminals, you know what I'm saying? And assume some of them are good people, right? That's how they're treating Portland.
You're from a...
Spoiler alert. I'm only going to play this till I see a tawny man. I want you to notice that all the homeless that they're talking about are Europeans. So I want you to understand that the decline that began with George Floyd affected more than just black people running around. We can't breathe. This is an American problem, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute, as soon as we get to the black guy.
Across the country to take advantage of weak drug laws. It's also attracted drug cartels. There were 11 drug overdoses on March 31st alone, and one pill of fentanyl can cost as little as $1.
I feel like we've invited people to come to our city to kill themselves.
A Portland photographer who goes by the street name of Michelle Ghost has been capturing the decline of the city through her lens.
We're giving them the tools that they need to stay alive just long enough to end up dying on our streets.
After rioting over George Floyd's death resulted in the destruction of large parts of Portland in 2020.
Because what happened? Bring that back. Tell me about this savior. St. George.
Our streets.
After rioting over George Floyd's death resulted in the destruction of large parts of Portland in 2020, Mayor Ted Wheeler thanked the rioters before he was hit with tear gas. Things got worse for the city when Oregon voters approved Measure 110.
He said he thanked the rioters, then got hit with tear gas. Hold on, that's hilarious. Hey, like and sub as y'all come in, man. If it's in your heart, pay your daycare fees. I ain't got the thing up there, but pay your daycare fees.
Mayor Ted Wheeler thanked the rioters before he was hit with tear gas.
Yo, that is crazy, yo. You done took your liberal ass on the stage and say thank you for tearing up my city, and then they hit you with tear gas. You gonna cry now, nigga?
Things got worse for the city when Oregon voters approved Measure 110. It decriminalized possession of small amounts of drugs, making it a healthcare issue and not a crime. Police officials say it's led to a huge increase in the amount of drugs on the streets, which has led to a surge in crime. It wasn't always like this.
Portland, Oregon, one of the nation's most beautiful cities.
Drugs in front of a child. Just last week, a man beat someone with a golf club in front of this Portland restaurant. The nervous...
Let's fast forward to dude.
More than 2,600 downtown businesses have left.
I'm very frustrated with what's going on.
Tech company owner Gabe Johnson is also looking to relocate.
By us continuing to keep our business in Multnomah County and the Portland city limits, we are giving money to the problem. And so we're going to move.
Portland's social experiment
I just realized,
is progressive.
because I did see this up to that point. I just realized, dude is sweet as shit. Hold on, listen to him talk, yo. Because I was kind of like doing other stuff, trying to set up this this page, this thing, because every one of these on OBS had their own background. I was trying to get it right for y'all. I didn't really pay attention. Dude is very liberal.
More than 2,600 downtown businesses have left.
I'm very frustrated with what's going on.
Tech company owner Gabe Johnson is also looking to relocate.
By us continuing to keep our business in the Multnomah County and the Portland city limits, we are giving money to the problem. And so we're...
Yo. He was double black. Yeah, he was double black. He got the... Yeah, he wasn't a woman. I don't know if he was a felon, but he was black. Anyway, here's the thing. Portland, Seattle, and a lot of big cities, New York, were invaded by paid protesters. They create the problem so they can say that voting for them is a solution to the problem that they themselves created, right? And you know they're paid protesters and flash mobbers because of how quickly they organize, right? Probably get paid $25 a day just to show up and cause ruckus. I didn't include Chicago in that because Chicago didn't have paid protesters. Chicago just had straight looters. They was on Facebook Live like, yo, we about to run up in the store, yo. Like, Chicago was chaotic just for chaos sake. But a lot of these places had paid protesters. Like Chicago, for instance, really didn't have a protest parade. They just had people running up in the stores like, let me get that. Different. Chicago has had paid protesters as far as 2 weeks ago when they marched because some kids messed up downtown, and then the next day they mobilized and had a march. They still don't know what they're marching for. It was just, it was nothing. Those were paid protesters. But initially, all of these acts, all of this chaos is precipitated by paid protesters. So, I want to show you guys something about Seattle. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you two things about Seattle real quick. One is from 2 years ago. And this was the height of Seattle being belligerent. In that time, the liberals, and I want to stress the liberals, because I need you guys to understand that at the end of the day, no matter where you live, you are that thing, right? So we are Americans. So when you go against America, it's cool to rebel. It's cool to have angst, to protest about things you don't think is right. But let me repeat this. The only crime in the Constitution is treason. The only crime in the Constitution is treason. Treason is punishable by deletion, right? So I want to show you, this was Cleveland. I'm sorry, not Cleveland. I don't know what I was thinking about Cleveland. They're childless too, though. This was Seattle 2 years ago during the protesting, when the protesters got their way. So let's check this out.
To make sure you're not doing anything you don't need to be doing.
What would that be? What are the orders you got?
Welcome to Seattle's autonomous zone. This is what happens when protesters take over an entire city block, including a police station. Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. It's about 3 or 4 streets. It's just famous for being ground zero for protests in Seattle. I've been covering protests here for a decade now. This is about where they all start and about where they all end at Cal Anderson Park. It's a very, very progressive, liberal neighborhood in this country. The energy goes to about a level 11. Police intervene, but in the late hours and in the morning hours, like it is here right now, you can actually talk to people and you can get a feel for how they really feel, and everyone's a lot calmer.
Just dropped by to see what they needed, and now I work here.
Oh, really? Yeah. How long have you worked here? What's your...
Maybe an hour.
Okay.
I see a lot of people that likely live in the neighborhood walking their dog.
Okay, so check this out. I just want to pause right here. You see how they have the street barricades up to keep state authority out of their zone? That is what Haiti is doing right now, yo. Haiti is having a civil war against France. And of course, France has more money, so they have more media, a bigger media budget, a bigger propaganda budget. So France is saying that that the Haitians are gangbangers. But if you really knew the history of the protesters in Haiti, most of them are ex-police officers who saw the not execution, what's the word I'm looking for? Assassination of their previous president by a hit squad allegedly sent full of Mexicans, Frenchmen, and Americans, allegedly under Hillary, and decided that they didn't want a Manchurian president in Haiti. And they set up barricades exactly like this to keep people out. So when dark-skinned people do it, they call it gangbanging. When white people do it, they call it liberalism. That's some bullshit. So, that's what we have with it, right? White folks, liberals. Non-white folks, rebel rousers. But, America.
Dogs and people coming to take pictures because they're curious.
Thank you so much.
And then I've had a lot of people come up to me because clearly I work here now. And there is a sign here that shows what supplies they want.
This, what you see here, was within 24 hours. This is called the No Cop Co-op. Literally, I started because I forgot my sign up there. After running for my life, and I came back the next day because I wanted to get it, and I saw this food because people had abandoned it. You've seen people donate. That was already happening, and I started with 1 bag. I asked on Twitter for a tent. 10 minutes later, someone's like, I have one. We got cases upon cases of milk yesterday. The local businesses are bringing pints of ice cream.
Yo, so at this point, I'm not going to play this whole thing because it's boring. This is what they did. They took over a small portion of Seattle. They named their own president or own mayor or something to that nature. And because they're liberals, the whole state is liberal. They didn't like Donald Trump, so they wouldn't allow Donald Trump to bring in the National Guard so they can get their city back. So basically, the entire city is full of treason, right? And treason, according to the Constitution, is punishable by PAPM. Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Mineral Mitch for the $1.23 cash app for salsa on the tacos. Gratitude, sir. Now, if that's what happened the last time the protest paraders came through Seattle, you know what else happened in Seattle recently? Tyree Nichols, right?
We were taking a look at the city of Memphis last night. This is after videos of Tyree Nichols being beaten to death by...
I just want you guys to look at the title. It says Tyree Nichols deletion. Protesters gather from Seattle to New York. From Seattle to New York. Let me explain something to you guys. Tyree met his demise in Memphis, Tennessee. I ain't trying to be that dude, but nobody care about what happened in Memphis, Tennessee, right? Only thing Memphis is known for is crime and Elvis. And Tyree don't look like Elvis. So when you start seeing protests in all the cities a day after a tragedy, those are paid protesters. So not only did they make the protest happen, they also paid the $6,000 it takes for the media to come cover it. So this is a paid protest with a massive budget, bro, a massive budget.
Police were released. Nichols was pulled over for a traffic stop on January.
See if I can get to. Nah, they're just gonna show Memphis. All right, so look. One of the most disturbing things that I saw, I mean, honestly, one of the most disturbing things that I saw. Let me see if I still have it queued up. Nah, I took it off. But it ain't hard to find. Show you something. Let's scroll through this together. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking for. George Floyd was an illiterate athlete that had to go to JUCO in order to get eligible to go to Texas A&M to play ball. Thought he was going to go pro. Didn't go pro. Okay, cool. His biggest contribution to America was getting deleted by a cop. There is nothing else that you can say. He wasn't a family man. He didn't take care of his daughter, even though people swear to God he was a girl dad. He wasn't a good friend. He did all the nigga stuff, man. He joined a rap group. He played basketball. Then he ended up driving a truck after his hoop dreams and his rap career didn't work out, right? Two-time felon, drug user, died in the act of committing a crime of counterfeit money. George Floyd is no martyr. Unfortunate that he passed away. I don't wish death on the man, but he is not the horse to bet on, not at all. So you see him having murals. He is on the front page of affluent magazines. And the thing that really blew my mind, see if I can find it, past all these murals. Oh, by the way, there's also a George Floyd Day. This is not a joke. George Floyd Day apparently is May 25th. So he has his own local holiday. That's just crazy. He got hella murals. He got more murals than Kobe. That's crazy. Where is it? Hold on. The man has several statues. This man has statues. Statue after statue. Here's the statue. This statue. Floyd was hunted. Some papoose. This is a statue in New York City, bro. He ain't had shit to do in New York. This is a statue in New York City. Hold on. This is another statue of Floyd, man. This is crazy. This statue is in Newark, New Jersey. Once again, he has no ties to Newark. He was born in South Carolina, went to school and got his kids in Texas, ended up dying when he moved to Minnesota. He has no connection to Northeast America, but yet and still he has a bust in New York and a body statue in New Jersey. This is crazy. This is absolutely goddamn crazy. Right here, he has another statue that's supposed to represent the 8 minutes and 46 seconds that he was being held down by the police officer. Apparently, this statue is George Floyd representing for PTSD. I think it was just the dope though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't think it was the PTSD. I think it was the heroin. And I think there's one more. What the hell is this? Wow. I don't even know what this is. Richmond, Virginia. This one is in Richmond, Virginia, and Black Lives Matter is on his mind. They tell you who to worship. They tell you who to mourn. They tell you if it doesn't make sense, then you're anti-American, you're not black, you're crazy. See all what they did to Kanye? When Kanye said, yo, maybe he OD'd, they got Kanye up out of there. Said, man, you're not going to mess up our martyr. And they kept trying to have a martyr. They tried the I Can't Breathe guy from New York, which is crazy because they give Floyd the credit for that. Like, Floyd, I can't breathe. That was the loose cigarette dude in New York that was yelling, I can't breathe. They keep trying to make a martyr, trying to make Trayvon a martyr. And that's fucked up. Trayvon should have been the martyr, but instead he just sold more Skittles. Trayvon became the brand ambassador for Skittles. There's something wrong with the peoples. Yeah, Eric Gardner. And Eric, he wasn't a hardcore criminal. He just sold loose cigarettes. But there's something to be said for people who riot for their criminals. Do you guys remember Freddie Gray? Let's see if I can look him up real quick. There was a guy by the name of Freddie Gray down in Baltimore, right? Yeah, it's up here. I'll show it to you guys. Freddie Gray was a career criminal. Like, Freddie Gray was like doing whatever to whoever. They gave him what police call a rough ride, right? A rough ride is when they put you in handcuffs in a paddy wagon, but they don't handcuff you.
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use this.
But they don't handcuff you to the paddy wagon. Like, they just cuff you, and then they speed off in the paddy wagon, and there's nowhere for you to sit. So you just fall, and you tumble, and you roll around the back of the paddy wagon, because there's no place for you to go. So you really turn to a ping pong ball, or, you know. So that's what they did to Freddie. During the course of that, Freddie rode in some god awful way and got crooked, and then when they hit a bump, cracked his neck, right? Cracked his neck on a rough ride. Was his deletion intentional? No. Was the rough ride intentional? Yes, yes it was. And because this career criminal got caught for another crime in which, to be honest with you, he was about to catch a blessing and take that rough ride and then be dropped off in somebody else's neighborhood. If he would not have self-deleted, well, I won't say self-deleted, if he wasn't a victim of vehicular deletion, he would have been another criminal on the street with the opportunity to do more crime, right? Rap sheet, longest train smoke. Long ass rap sheet. Don't worry about that. What do they do for Freddie Gray? They burn the whole city down.
Tomorrow night, a curfew that cannot come soon enough. Tonight, we have witnessed lawlessness and chaos on the streets as the violence escalates despite calls for peace. All this in the wake of today's funeral for a young man who died of severe injuries while in police custody. Baltimore is burning after a day of looting and rioters clashing violently with police. Tonight, a community center in flames.
Yeah, I don't care. Let me tell you something. Chicago had a girl, honor student, 16 years old, pretty girl. Her name was Hadia Pendleton. If I'm not mistaken, she went to Whitney Young. She might have gone to Hyde Park. She was waiting on a bus stop to come home from school. And some motherfucking gangbanger come from nowhere. These niggas can't shoot. Shooting at a guy next to her. Missed the guy. Hit her. Shot her in the stomach. She bled out. She passed. It was very sad though. There was no protest. It might have been a march, but not one you will remember. There was no Black Lives Matter. There was no outrage. They didn't loot. They didn't burn the city. Not for Hadia. She just gone. The young boy in Cleveland, the 12-year-old boy that was playing by himself in the park with a toy gun. I can't think of his name. Police hopped out, shoot shorty up, 12 years old, in the park by herself because some Karen called. That boy was totally innocent, without fault. No parade for him. Not one car burned, right? I think this happened in Tamir Rice. Yep, Tamir Rice. Then there was the guy, I can't think of his name either, but he was a father. He went to Walmart to go get his kid a BB gun. Somebody said he was stealing because he was running through Walmart. His girl was there. He was trying to play with his girl like, They sent the police in. He was an Al 9. Clapped him in Al 9, man. They didn't even just give him the Al 5 treatment. And no cars burned. People cared. But nobody looted. No riots happened. But these motherfucking criminals get trophies in your city. Bust made out of cast iron. Whole cities burned to the ground. News coverage. Helicopters. T-shirts get printed. For your criminals. John Crawford, you won it today, Will. Shout out to you, man. I'm gonna take your word for it because I can't remember his name at all. So I'm gonna take your word for it. That's John Crawford. I see his face in my head, but I can't think of his name. So I'm assuming it's John Crawford. The colors are getting played. You understand that, right? The colors are getting played, and the liberals are getting paid. When your criminal gets deleted, because it's always your criminal. It's not the upstanding people. That's what's so crazy to me. It's never the true victims, the upstanding people, the people that you're supposed to ride for, the people that you're supposed to protect, the people that this system is supposed to prevent those type of things from happening to. You know, the trash gonna take itself out, right? Yeah, I saw that. The trash gonna take itself out. Nobody really cares when criminals go to war with other criminals. It is what it is, right? Kids having a basement party. Some boy gets jilted because the girl he wants told him to get away from her, or he walked in and saw the girl he had a crush on with another guy. He want to go shoot up the basement. No parade for that. But the minute your criminal gets a comeuppance, everybody got to burn. And who's doing it, right? Who is telling America to ride for a person who mama won't even ride for him? Think about that. Think about that. Freddie Gray ain't got family like that. George Floyd ain't have family like that. Most of these people are estranged from everybody until something happened, and all of a sudden, that was my boy. You my boy, Blue. I say all that to say this. You guys aren't in a war against any type of supremacy. You're not at war against injustice. You're really not. They highlight silly shit, but you're really not. You at a war with Keisha, the sons of Keisha, and marketing, man. Marketing. When I tell you guys to tribe up, kill for the logo, and protect the logo, economically, socially, media-wise, do the same thing everybody else does. If you sue them for defamation, sue them for false representation, once you do that, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. As long as they can easily manipulate you with your worst, bro. That's the crazy part with the worst. And the reason that the worst of the worst works is because the most influential coloreds are women, right? Keisha runs the coloreds. And Keisha love felons, yo. It just is what it is. So if they can give you a tall, dark felon like a George Floyd, everybody will ride, because all these Keishas will be thinking in their head,
that could have been my third baby daddy.
Anyway, that's all I'd say about that. Kim Power, the lady that shot down. Yeah, they did get the cop that ran up on dude in his crib and shot him. Yeah, she got a lenient sentence. But that's because well, first of all, think about that. Dante Wright didn't have a criminal record, so they not gonna slam her because she didn't kill a felon, right? You only get slammed when you kill a felon. It don't matter what you do to law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. Apparently, not when you in the liberal city. Second of all, did you see how quick his mom and sisters turned on him though? The brother too, they hugging her. The judge hugging the white girl in court. The sisters hugging. They talking about reparative justice and you know what I'm saying. Don't be better. They have more hate for that man. Think about this. They had more hate for Dante being a black man that dated a white woman than they did for that white woman to delete a black man. And that's the facts. That's the facts. They hugging that white woman for killing that man. But they all on Twitter saying that's what he get for dating a white woman. Tell me I'm lying. You ain't got enough sense to mobilize against the people that hate you. That's a strange energy, right? It's the very nature of Stockholm Syndrome too, by the way. To love your oppressor, to love your abuser, to not feel like you can go past a certain level because your abuser needs you beneath them in order to continue to abuse you. That's why matriarchy is slavery, right? Anyway, yeah, I just saw that earlier, man, about how Portland is going down in the dumps ever since George Floyd, and it made me think about same thing happened in Chicago, same things happening all around the nation. Everywhere they paint a George Floyd mural or give him a George Floyd statue. You need to get the fuck up out of there, bro. Anyway, as always, man, I appreciate y'all sliding through, man. I done had a long week, man. My mother died and trying to get affairs in order and stuff like that, and they shut down the Dirty Folks channel. So all we doing is news reports. Shit until August. Fuck these people, man. Anyway, sub to the let me put this in the comments real quick. Now that I'm thinking about this, yo. I need y'all to sub to the Tyler Tales channel, yo. So I'm starting a new channel. It's a few things that I'm gonna do at one time. Hold on. I know it's about to double up. It's a few things that I'm gonna do. So it's a few things I'm doing one time, right? So I'm about to dedicate the Oak Summers channel to contracts. I'm gonna teach you guys about contracts, but I'm gonna make it fun because I'm gonna do it the dirty folks way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take something as mundane as contract law, and I'm gonna make it fun. But that's what I do. I'm gonna teach y'all how to get y'all sovereignty, and I ain't gonna talk about that. But I'm just tell you I know the contracts, the sovereignty contracts, and I change ethnicity. I ain't gonna tell y'all that. That's crazy. Take your tribal courses, but you can't take until you take your tolerology courses. Take your tolerology courses, and then once you learn how to train a bitch, and I feel like you won't kill me over a toddler, I'll teach y'all how to be something different than these goddamn colors. And the second channel is, I'm about to put it in now. I might change the name of the channel though, but it's the Toddler Tale channel, and that's why all my stories, where I give y'all all the stories and shit, and I animate them. I'm taking all the stories and I'm putting them on that channel. I only got like three subs on there because I ain't been around. I ain't been promoting it, and I ain't even doing a good job promoting it now because I ain't even put it in the description. I'll go back and do that. But yeah, man. So I might change the name of it though, because it's called Toddler Tales. Because I call girls toddlers, but if you put in Toddler Tale, when I look up stuff up, it ain't nothing but kids, and I don't want to be, in there with with literal toddlers when they trying to learn the alphabet. So I might change the name of it. As a matter of fact, if y'all got suggestions to what I should change the name of it to, let me know. And you know what I'm saying, I'll change the name of the channel, because I don't think that name is appropriate. It fits my brand, but it's not appropriate for searches. Anyway, with that, man, appreciate your condolences, Will. Thank you. On that note, love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. Tribe up. Take your courses, man. You gotta be more proactive, man. You gotta be more proactive in your emancipation. Well, I ain't tripping on that shit, bro. Like, rest in peace to my mom. Love my mom. But let me tell you something. You're supposed to bury your parents, bro. You're supposed to bury your parents. It's the ebb and flow of life, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just Simba. That wasn't even Mustafa, though. My dad, Mustafa. But, you know what I'm saying? I had time to deal with it. She been sick since December. I've had time to, you know, get acclimated to it. Anyway, feed the pack, tribe up.
You're one of the top 6 speakers of the past 8 years, but I hated you at first. Could you please mention the Dirty Folks podcast? Thank you, Lord Charles. Dirty Folks.
And see, I find it to be hilarious because even if I did behave like a teenager, I would be ahead of a lot of these B-dubs that want to make these comments, because a lot of you behave like toddlers. Shout out to my man, Dirty Folk.
And it's because y'all niggas don't support. Y'all do support. Y'all support titties and pussy. Hey, shout out to Dirty Folk.
Men have sort of quietly begun to agree that even the most like off the wall extreme advice or takes that you get from some random guy on the internet is more useful than anything allegedly profound that you would hear from a trained black female professional. All right, like look, let's take a perfect example of this, right? The idea of Dirty Folks, when he come up and he says like women with clothes on, that is a way more useful notion to frame your mental state around than anything your black female therapist would ever tell you. Cause she's a woman with clothes on. Why the fuck would you listen to her? Like when he says that, it makes sense in a way that it just appeals to you. And it's something that your black female therapist could never match.
Yo, tribesman, the daycare is too influential to be so small. Do your big homie a favor, man. Like, sub, share, clip. I know I got at least 10 bars that can change somebody's life, man. Help me to help my brother. Love each other as you love yourself.